So what else we got, my friend?
All right, so I think
we're getting down to the wire here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we got some trucks here. This is interesting to me. I think this is the last of what we have, but
it is.
This is a hot topic in your repertoire, Jay. Why don't you bring us into kind of the concept here of these smaller trucks and where you think this is going?
Yeah, so I had a conversation with a young man a couple days ago. We were out on the beach, and he pulled up in a Honda Ridgeline, and I asked him how he liked it. It looked brand new, and it was the HPD version. It's really nice. He says, I love it. It's fantastic. You know, we have a baby on the way, and I checked out some mid-size pickups like the Tacoma, the Chevy Colorado, the GMC Canyon, on and on, with the quad cabs, and nothing seemed practical. He couldn't seem to get car seats in the right way, and it just didn't have that feel that he was looking for. He wanted something sporty, but he also wanted to have more of like the comforts of a sedan sort of thing. So he bought the Ridgeline. But he goes, they're too big. It's still too big to me. And I said to him at that time, I said, well, did you hear what just was released? And he says, no, what? I said, well, and here we go. Some of you may be aware of this or not aware of this, but Hyundai, or Hyundai, depending on how you want to pronounce that, has decided to get into the compact pickup market, which has gone away for probably 20 plus years, 25 years, wouldn't you say, Keith? I think the last compact pickup truck that was on the market was that like 95, 96-ish, like Ford Ranger, maybe like the Mazda B4000, B3000.
Yeah, so, I mean, some of this is semantics. So we kind of created new names or new class names. And, oh, by the way, that's a result of a couple of these manufacturers just making their small trucks bigger.
Right.
And then,
that's it.
And then we went, oh, but we still have some companies that are still making the trucks that are the original size, like the small ones. So
right.
What do we do? Well, let's call one of these a compact and the other one a midsize.
Right.
Right.
And that's exactly what they've done. And Hyundai did a great job with this, by the way. I think it's they come right out and tell you that it's it is a compact truck, and it's geared towards more of they want to say off-roading, because I saw the reveal on this, and that's questionable because it doesn't have it doesn't look to me like it has the ability to get on a true off-road type environment. The entry angle is all that, everything it's just too low, man. It's just not right. I don't think it can do what they think it can do. However, what they are targeting, what they have targeted here, are those people who don't want or can't have these huge trucks.
Well, yeah, so there's two factors. Price being one.
Yes.
Although I don't know that's the leading factor. And the other one is, people have been playing around with this for a while. What if I live in the city or in an urban area, but I want to go camping and I do need some sort of a truck feature?
Right.
Well, but I'm not going to want to daily drive that thing and parallel park it or park it in a parking garage, right?
Right. Well,
so this is that crowd. That's your demo.
This is the answer.
Yep.
This is the answer. I think that I think, and you're absolutely right. I think Hyundai is going to be successful in that market where people live in inner city, where they need to have the best of both worlds.
What's really interesting about this is we're talking about Hyundai right now, and we just said this with the electric trucks. Who's going to get there first? Okay, so Hyundai has come out and said we're doing it. Mm-hmm. But then we talked 6 months, 8 months ago about the Ford Maverick, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So you got Ford potentially getting back into this game. We've got several manufacturers that are making smaller versions on a truck platform, on a small truck platform, I guess. Right. Is it on a car platform? It's on a truck platform, right?
This is a unibody.
Okay.
Yes.
So, well, there you go. If it's unibody, then it's even right. So they're not alone. They're not sitting here by themselves taking a huge risk. They're, again, peer pressure in the auto industry. They're all looking at each other, and somebody's going, we think this urban truck model is gonna have some popularity because, well, and look, Jeep, right? Like, how many different versions of the Jeep are out there right now? You have options in the Jeep line to get a truck bed.
That's right.
Right? And
yeah, Gladiator or whatever it is. It's
not a full-size pickup. That's a smaller frame.
Right.
So,
and you had the Scrambler years ago.
Yep.
Jeep has kind of stayed true to that, to have some shape or form of that all along.
It makes sense to me if I'm an automotive executive in the industry and I'm watching this or listening to this program, by the way, thank you. And I'm like, these parts counter guru guys, they're always talking about overlanding. They're always talking about how they go to these car shows and all they see is people with their off-road setups. And they're always talking about how everybody's buying RVs and everybody's getting off the grid and all that. Folks, maybe we need to put our hat in the ring for something that could be competitive in that market because, the Bronco's selling now and we got, right? So it's like, well, yeah, I mean, there's a demand for it.
Right. There is a huge demand for it. There's going to be a bigger demand for it. I'm quite certain of that.
And because better fuel economy, right? Than the full size.
Way better fuel economy. First of all, these things are equipped with a 2.5 liter. One's going to have one will have a turbo. One version will have a turbo. They'll come in all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. This thing, it has. I was surprised. It's going to have. I mean, it's not huge, but for what it is, it is. It has. It's capable of towing up to 5,000 pounds, and it also is going to. It doesn't have the a trailer brake controller, but I don't know that you could effectively pull. I wouldn't.
There isn't anything at 5,000 pounds that you should need a brake controller for. That's not heavy enough that vehicle should be able to stop that with its own brakes.
You would hope so. Now,
if they build it right. Yeah.
If they build it right. What I can tell you is basically it looks like the new Tucson with a bed. It does. It looks like the Tucson. And, I'm a fan of the Tucson. I like the Tucsons. I always have. I drive one.
Do you see the potential here for GM to go El Camino? Do you see the potential for Subaru to do something competitive?
Subaru is really already a competitor. They just need to bring it back. And you and I talked about this the other day about the Brat. And there is some speculation that maybe late 2022, 2023, that the Subaru Brat may make an appearance. And based on the trends, to me, it makes absolutely good sense. Now, will it have the suicide seats in the back like the old one? I don't think that by law you could get away with that anymore. You remember those, right? With the
in the bed. You're talking about the ones that were down.
The seats had in the bed with handles to hold on to, man.
Yeah, you know how I learned about that, Jay? No. As a kid with Hot Wheels, I had a Brat.
Oh yeah.
And they built into the Hot Wheels car the detail of those seats in the bed. And I remember looking at that going, wow, that's cool, right? But yeah, now it's like, wow, that's super unsafe. Right.
So check this out. Here's what, for sure, man. I remember riding in the back of those. I had a friend of mine that own one, and they were a lot of fun. But gosh, how dangerous it was! I often thought about, man, I hope he doesn't lose control of this vehicle because you're out, you're ejected immediately.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why they can't build those things like that anymore. But Hyundai goes on to say that they're in a class of its own right now, but that's going to change. And we talked about it with the Ford Maverick, like we said. That's coming. There is room for this segment out there. I think they will do well. With this type of vehicle, you get the comforts of a sedan or a crossover, but you also have the bed. This thing's got it's got a lockable, like a hard tonneau cover that comes with it. It's got a in-bed trunk. It has a lot of different things. It has a remote tailgate. Not that that's important to me because you know how I feel about all the gadgets on vehicles like that. I don't get it. I don't understand all that stuff. But it can hold up to 500 pounds back there. And they do say that the tonneau cover, however, will be optional. Crazy, man. It's interesting to see Hyundai get into this. And I will bet that in a year from now, we're going to be talking, there will be 5 to 6 other models of something similar like this out there in the works, if not already for sale. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And we hinted to it.
You heard it
Toyota
here
has
first,
hinted,
everybody.
Toyota has hinted to some other things that are happening, and I believe that you're going to see a more compact pickup truck come from them. Like you said, Chevrolet, what was it, the Chevy Love?
Yeah. Yeah.
Compact pickup truck. But then you had like you said, the El Camino, and then we had the Ford Ranchero. So this is not something new to our industry. It's just something that has gone away for a while. But now you've got all these other players involved. A lot of the Asian market vehicles that are coming into play. Volkswagen had one. Volkswagen, I think, has one already. They're out there. You just have to do your research on it. But I mentioned this many moons ago on one of our early podcasts that I felt like the compact pickup truck was going to make a comeback, and that was before we even knew about the Maverick.
Right.
And that's almost a I hate to say I told you so moment, because it's
I hate to say I told you so.
It's just one of those things, man, where you get a gut feeling on trends, and my biggest complaint is I can't park a big truck anywhere. I need a truck, but I can't park it because it doesn't fit. And now when you start increasing the size of your small pickup trucks to a midsize, I looked at the Toyota Tacoma, the new one, and honestly, when I looked at it, I'm like, that thing's darn near close to the Tundra in size. And you see the Nissan Frontier doing the same thing. You see, like I said, the Chevrolet Colorado and the GMC Canyon. They used to be a tiny pickup truck, like the size of an original Ford Ranger or something. But now they are in a class of its own. They're a mid-sized pickup truck. They're big. I was next to one. I'm like, wow, when did this thing get on steroids? Because that's basically what they look like. They grew up, So, and then of course the bigger trucks are even bigger. You can't even get those things down a driveway these days, man. They're
or
so
in your
huge.
garage, right?
And you'll never get them in the garage. You don't have the clearance because they don't. Now they're not building houses to accommodate those things. They're building garages to the specs that they've always built garages, which are typically a 30 by 30, right, for 2 cars. So, but you can't fit and the height of the door getting in, you would have to almost have an RV type bay or garage setting to get one of these big trucks in. Heck, the mirrors stick out, 5 feet on some of these, 5 feet from the pillar,
right?
On some of these big towing capable trucks. So yeah, crazy, man. It's I'm loving it. I'm having fun with this one. I would like to maybe test drive one if I get the opportunity. My wife already, when I told her about it, she goes, "Oh, let's get one," because she loves her Tucson. She wants a truck though, so